Entonces, acabamos de hacer una actividad clasificando los verbos. ¿Es bueno o es malo? Y ustedes pueden indicar con sus manos. ¿Es bueno así o es malo así? Ok. Entonces, chicos, en sus opiniones, ¿esta imagen es bueno o malo? Depende, sí, pero en general. Son opiniones. Sí. Bueno, ¿qué es esta imagen? ¿Cuál es la palabra de vocabulario? ¿Cómo describimos? Deforestación, exactamente. La deforestación depende, ¿no? Porque necesitamos papel y no todo el papel es papel reciclado, de nada. Pero en general es malo, pero es una opinión. Imagen, ay, perdón. Ok, chicos, ¿bueno o malo?
Bueno.
Bueno, ¿no? ¿Y cuál es la palabra de vocabulario que corresponde con esta imagen? Reciclar, ¿no? Reciclar. Es bueno reciclar. Es fácil reciclar. Pero ahora, entonces, en los Estados Unidos es problemático. Esta imagen, ¿bueno o malo? Malo, ¿no? ¿Y qué es esta imagen? Este es un oso polar. ¿Y cuál es una palabra de vocabulario que corresponde? El calentamiento global. ¿Y es malo? Y en mi opinión también, este pobre oso polar es triste. ¿Tenemos aquí? Sí. Es triste. Es malo, es triste, es muy desafortunado. Hay muchas expresiones que se aplican al calentamiento global. Ok, entonces, ahora vamos a usar estos ejemplos para introducir el subjuntivo, ¿no? Para expresar, emociones. Porque muchas personas tienen opiniones o emociones del medio ambiente. Entonces nosotros sabemos que es malo contaminar el aire. Aquí, en este ejemplo, contaminar es el subjuntivo o es el indicativo o es un mandato o es infinitivo, ¿no? Es el infinitivo. ¿Qué quiere decir en inglés es malo contaminar el aire? What's it saying?
It's bad to contaminate.
Yeah, it's bad to contaminate or pollute the air. Básico. General. Like una opinión no directa. We're not blaming anyone. We're not telling anybody to do anything. We're not suggesting anything. Okay? Por eso tenemos el infinitivo, contamina. Y bueno, en este ejemplo, es bueno reducir la contaminación del aire. Es tu ejemplo, Eris. Es bueno, ¿no? Y reducir es el verbo. ¿Y cómo clasificamos reducir? ¿Cuál es? Infinitivo, ¿no? ¿Por qué? ¿Qué quiere decir? What are we saying here? It's good to reduce air pollution, right? It's good to, but we're not telling anybody to, and we're not suggesting anybody to. It's muy, muy general. Pero en este ejemplo, la profesora le recomienda que la clase conduzca carros menos y vaya en bicicletas más. Conduzca y vaya. Estos dos verbos, ¿cómo los clasificamos? Conduzca y vaya. Subjuntivo, exactamente. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? Y podemos hablar en inglés. So why, Anna?
You're recommending.
I'm recommending. I am recommending. So we have, our first clause is our independent clause. I have a subject and a verb. And I'm recommending, first of all, something, connecting it with K. And who am I recommending to? The class, exactly. So I have a second subject, a dependent clause, a new subject after the K. And since my new subject after the K is being recommended to or influenced by someone or something, conduzca y vaya have to come in the subjunctive. So we have, this is easy to translate into English. Professor recommends what? That the class drive cars less and go in on bikes more. Exactly. So we have this concept in English. The only difference is our grammar is not affected. Nothing happens to verbs after, phrases of will or influence. Conduzca and vaya are the subjunctive of what verbs? ¿Cuál es el infinitivo? Conducir, right? So we talked about in class on Monday, reducir, conducir. Only in the yo form are irregular. Conduzco or reduzco. And how do we form the subjunctive? We first go to what conjugation? What form? You go to the yo. Exactly. Drop the yo and then change it to the opposite of what you know. So in the subjunctive, all of our conjugations, if it was nosotros, instead of la clase, it wouldn't be conduzca, it would be what? Conduzcamos. Exactly. So unlike the indicative where it would be conduzco, yo, but if I was talking about Pablo, I'd say like Pablo conduce. I don't do the yo form and changes and anything irregular in the other forms, like eres reduce or ellos reducen. It's not irregular in the other forms, only in the yo form for the indicative. But in the subjunctive, all the forms go to the yo, drop the yo, and then change it to the opposite of what you know. So if it's nosotros, it's conduzcamos. If it's nosotros, it's vayamos. Exactly. But we know el infinitivo de vaya is what? Ir. Ir is just irregular most of the time. What would be the indicative of ir for this example, for vaya? If it was la clase, it wouldn't be vaya. The indicative would just be, now you're thinking it's ser. Ser is irregular too. Ir is, well, that's preterite. We have learned so many conjugations, so just pulling out a verb conjugation out of your head, out of space right now is kind of hard. The yo form of ir is voy. Voy a clase. I know, it's like 101. But el or ella or la clase would be, well, nosotros would be vamos. El, ella would be va. Right, exactly. But vaya is irregular in the subjunctive, our infinitive is ir. So all of these conjugations right now, they're pretty jumbled in our head because we've learned so many. So be careful when you're doing the homework and then, of course, on the test. And then I have something additional to recommend. So I do want you to ride bikes. ¿Van en bicicletas ustedes? ¿A veces? No. Algunos sí. Otros no. Caminar. ¿Prefieres caminar? Sí. Pero soy mamá y soy muy responsable y también soy profesora de SNAP. Entonces, tengo este ejemplo aquí que corresponde con esta recomendación. Esta es una recomendación, pero chicos, pónganse los cascos. Or Octavio, en tu motocicleta, ponte el casco. ¿No? Muy importante proteger la cabeza. ¿No? So, chicos, pónganse los cascos. ¿Este es una recomendación? ¿Es una recomendación? No, es un mandato. Es muy directo. ¿No? So what am I saying here? Pónganse los cascos. Wear your helmets, exactly. Put on your helmets. Eso es mucho más serio, mucho más directo, ¿no? Eso es suave, es una recomendación. Pero proteger la cabeza, eso es muy directo, ¿ok? ¿Entienden la diferencia? Otro ejemplo, bueno, es más explicación. Bueno, y también con el infinitivo. Okay, so estamos añadiendo. We're adding to what we've learned. So I have chapter 12 up here, which was from 201, which was before the break, which no one remembers. And then some of you all are just coming into Spanish after having lots of time off, like Molly and Carly. So even though, this was from chapter 12, we're not doing chapter 12 this semester, you're still responsible for knowing this in 202. The expressions, all the expressions that introduce the subjunctive. So as we progress through this chapter, these lists are going to get longer and longer and longer. And I'm just going to photocopy it, even though that's not like conservando papel. I'm gonna add to it, so ultimately, the last handout that I give you in February is the one that you really need to hold on to. So this, we're just gonna build on, you're gonna keep track of this, but the last one I give you is gonna be like 4 pages long of all the uses of the subjunctive, and I'm keeping them organized with chapters and different uses of the subjunctive. So we have impersonal expressions, which this chapter, we have S3 which could be classified as an impersonal expression because we don't have a subject. It's just a general statement saying it's sad. So some of these kind of overlap, but triste we know means what? Sad, and that's an emotion, so that's why it's presented on page 342. We have recommendations, and remember, you don't need to memorize como se dice ruega in English, but you need to reconocer, recognize ruega. That's a phrase that introduces the subjunctive, so I need that in the subjunctive. And then this chapter, en la Lec.13, emociones, any type of emotion, whether it's positive or negative, okay? Because I can say, like, se alegra del que, and I'm going to go through these, and we're going to discuss what they mean in English, just so we know them and we clarify, even though they're in your book, but try not to look in your book and try to figure it out. What are some of the ones, before we look in our book and we try to figure it out and think about it, what are some of these expressions that we've seen before, that we might recognize, that you might remember? Siente. Sentir. Muy bien. To feel. Excelente. Buena memoria. Sentir, or some people might also, you can use it like siento terrible, okay? Right, to feel. And then also, ¿cómo se dice sorry in español? Lo siento. Okay, this is when, just to clarify, most of the time in Spanish, when you say you're sorry, like you bump into somebody, like, you know, walking in the hallway. In English, we apologize all the time in our culture. Like if you bump into somebody in the hallway, polite manners will be like, oops, I'm sorry, or excuse me. In Spanish, in that context, we're just going to use perdón, okay? Lo siento is like begging for forgiveness. So when I went to Spain for the first time and I bumped into somebody, I was like, oh, lo siento. They were like, chill out. It's okay. Like, it's okay. You just bumped into me. You don't need to beg for forgiveness. Perdón is what you use. Like, if you need to interrupt, like, excuse me, or if you accidentally run into somebody, perdón. But siente que, or yo siento que, that's like you're saying you're so sorry. Like if somebody's cat died, like siento que tu gato morirá. Or siento que tengamos clase hoy. Like, I'm so sorry, we have class today. Por ejemplo, so siente can mean feeling, like I feel terrible. Siento terrible que, or siento que is just I'm sorry that. Otras expresiones que reconocemos. Without looking in your book, are there any other expressions here you recognize, Ana? Sorprender. Muy bien, excelente. ¿Cómo se dice sorprender? What does that mean? Sorprende. You just recognize it. That's good. Sorpresa. What's sorpresa? Surprise. So sorpresa is like the noun, surprise. Like una fiesta de sorpresa, surprise party. But sorprende is like, it surprises me that more people don't recycle. Or it surprises me that so many people pay for parking in Charleston. Me sorprende que. Por ejemplo. Anything else that looks familiar? Espera. Muy bien. Marina, ¿cómo se dice espera? Hope. Exactly. Hope. Like yo espero que. Or yo quiero que. It can also fall under that. Espera means hope, but it can also mean in a different context and usually used as a command. Un mandato is esperan. Like esperan un momento can also mean wait. Wait a second. Esperan un momento. When it's used as a command, it usually means wait. But as a subjunctive, it means hope. Like, esperamos que no tengamos más huracanes, okay, in Charleston. Any other expressions? Gusta, right? Gusta, molesta. Any of those verbs like gustar. Interesa, fascina, aburre, etc. We use with the subjunctive, okay? Like, me interesa. What is molesta? We know what gusta is. What's bother? Exactly. Me molesta que muchas personas no caminan a clase. Or me molesta que muchos estudiantes conduzcan a clase. Anything else that looks familiar? Anastasia?
Tiene
tiene miedo de qué? ¿Cómo se dice tiene miedo? Scares, yeah, scares. So teme and tiene miedo both mean afraid. This is afraid, and well, it scares me, and this is I'm afraid that. Both of them are expressing emotion about fear. Like, tengo miedo de que mis hijos no vayan a tener tantas oportunidades o tanta naturaleza en el futuro. And so, ¿cómo se dice? Alegra. Happy. This is like, and you know what, chicos? Even though it's not listed in the book, okay, on page 342, even though it's not listed in the book, estoy feliz also means happy, or estoy contenta also means happy. So on the super side, if you have estoy plus an adjective that has to do with feelings, you're going to use a subjunctive, even if it's not on page 342, because it's expressing emotion. And then we have more expressions of emotion, but I kind of classified them differently because they don't have any subjects. No one's expressing the emotion specifically. It's weird, it's a shame, it's ridiculous, terrible, sad. Ojalá, so these don't have a specific subject. Ojalá, and careful on the super site and on the test. Ojalá doesn't need que. Does anybody know what ojalá means? I'll help you always remember this by breaking down this word. So have you ever heard the word Allah before? Not necessarily in Spanish or English, but what does Allah mean? If you've ever heard it, it's referring to God, right, exactly. Within what group of people or... Right, exactly. Islam, amongst Muslims, Allah. And what do we know about Islamic culture and Muslims and Spanish? Anything we've learned in the past? Spain. What do we know about Spain and Muslims?
The Muslims brought like their architecture and some of their culture to Spain.
Yeah, Muslims have great influence in Spanish architecture and culture, not only in Spain, but also in the Americas, right? Because they brought over with the conquest of the Americas that those type of, culture and also language. Lots of words in Spanish come from Arabic. And that's because the Muslims ruled Spain for 700 years. And so obviously a lot of Spanish is influenced by Islamic and Arabic culture. So ojalá means God willing. And we have the word Allah in it. Your book probably translates it, as I hope and I wish, which it does mean that. But in Spanish it really means God willing. So, ojalá que sí, or espero que sí is like, I hope so. Or, ojalá que sí also means, I hope so. That's how you express just that phrase in Spanish. But que is optional. On the super site, if you see ojalá, you're going to use the subjunctive. On the test, you're going to use the subjunctive. Okay, chicos, entonces, para los últimos 5 minutos de clase, ustedes necesitan sacar sus papeles e indicar si es el infinitivo, o si es el indicativo, o si es el subjuntivo. Y para clarificar, chicos, I don't have anywhere to hang this, unfortunately. Con el verbo hablar. Hablar es el infinitivo. El indicativo de hablar es like yo hablo. Pero el subjuntivo es yo hablé. No hablé, hablé. Okay, ¿están listos? ¿Todos necesitan un papel? ¿O todos tienen sus papeles? ¿Sí? Okay. Yo espero que todos conserven el medio ambiente. Ustedes necesitan indicar conservan. ¿Qué es? Infinitivo, indicativo o subjuntivo. Yo espero que, muy bien, subjuntivo. Porque, ¿cuál es el infinitivo de conserven? Conservar. So we went to the O, we dropped the O, and we changed it to the opposite. We have espero. ¿Cómo se dice espero? I hope that conector que otro sujeto todos conserven. Una frase de emoción. Muy bien. El oso polar es un animal que vive en el Ártico. ¿Cuál es? Infinitivo, indicativo o subjuntivo. Y estamos clasificando vive. ¿Cuál es? Muy bien, muy bien. Es el indicativo. Indicativo. Vive. El infinitivo es vivir. Yo quiero hablar de este ejemplo. Why is this not the subjunctive? Because we have a K. And a common error among students, snap and non-snap, is they see the K, they think, oh, it's got to be subjunctive. But it doesn't always. The K is not what indicates a subjunctive. Marina, why is this not the subjunctive?
Because it's not recommended.
We're not recommending. This is not an expression of emotion or influence. El oso polar es un animal is saying what? Polar bear is an animal that lives in the Arctic. That's all we're saying. It's just a fact. Because this chapter, we're going to be deciding between the indicative and the subjunctive. On the super site, on the test, salud, you're going to have to conjugate the verb appropriately based on the expression. Vive, es de vivir, es indicativo. Es triste ver los animales en peligro de extinción. Infinitivo, indicativo, o subjuntivo. ¿Cuál es? Perfecto. Infinitivo, ver. Es triste ver, saying what?
It's sad to see.
It's sad to see. Muy general, no específico, ver. La forma básica del verbo. Yo temo que no resolvamos los problemas de la contaminación del agua. Resolvamos como lo clasificamos. Yo temo que. Muy importante. Es el subjuntivo. Yo temo que means what? Yeah, I'm afraid that, or it scares me, it depends. In this case, I'm afraid that. And resolvamos is a subjunctive because the infinitive of resolvamos is resolver. Okay, uno más. Es ridículo que el océano esté contaminado. Es ridículo que. Es ridículo que. Este. Este es el subjuntivo. ¿Por qué? ¿Cómo se dice es ridículo que? It's ridiculous. That's an expression of an emotion. That's an opinion. Okay, and then what's our infinitive of este? Estar. Okay, chicos. Bueno, tenemos